Surprise Comics.
It's time for another live sale this Friday over on my Instagram page, July 8th, starting at 3 p.m. Pacific time. That's 6 p.m. Eastern time. We usually go for about 4 or 5 hours. We're going to have Silver Age slabs. We're going to have discount slabs. I'm going to bring out key books that I'm holding just for this live sale that are not on the website. And I'm going to do dealer boxes or collector boxes, whatever you want to call it. But it's going to be a full short box of raw books at a discounted rate. So if you have a whatnot or something, this could be a great opportunity to pick up some more inventory. It's going to be a ton of fun, giveaways all night. Great way to spend a Friday. Come hang out with me and Kate and John and Steven and talk about awesome comics. Even if you don't buy anything, just come by to say what's up and hang out, and I hope to see you there. In this video, we're going to talk about a recent trade that I did for an X-Men #1 in a CGC 4.0 for other books in partial cash. It's something I've been doing a lot more frequently over on my Instagram page is trading, and I want to get into the whole concept of trading, why I think it's a really good route to go right now in today's comic book market, and a whole bunch of other useful information. But before we get into that, if you're new here, we always do a giveaway here on my YouTube channel. If you subscribe to the channel, comment on this video and like this video, you're entered to win a free slab each and every month. And if you head over to brycecomics.com and sign up for the newsletter, you're entered to win a free slab over there as well. Make sure to give me a follow over on Whatnot, link down in the description for $10 off your first purchase. I'm always doing a free giveaway every single show over there. Lots of awesome stuff happening on Whatnot. And of course, give me a follow on Instagram because especially if you're looking to trade, because that's where I post my trades is over on Instagram. There will be other grails, other really big books that are going to be available for trade over on my Instagram page. Hit that notification bell on Instagram so that you get notified of new posts because it's usually only a matter of a few hours and there's multiple offers on the table. So I'd recommend, because a lot of people reach out to me when I post these big books and they're like, hey, I'm really interested in this, but I'm at work right now. I'll get back to you when I get home. And I totally understand that whole situation, but by the time they get home, it's already sold, it's already traded, it's a done deal. So what I'd recommend is you have a list ready to go in your phone. If you're looking to trade up, if this is something that interests you, just have that list ready to go. So if you see the post, you can shoot over that list, say, this is what I'm willing to trade. So I want to talk a little bit about the details of trade and specifically how it works with me. It might be a little bit different than trading with other people, but in essence, if you're a collector and you're looking to trade a personal book from your personal collection for another book that you want in your personal collection, then that trade oftentimes can just be a straight trade. You know, like say you have a $5,000 book and you just are ready to move on from that and you see another $5,000 book, you post it up for trade and it's an even exchange of money. But being a dealer, I'm trading books that are for sale for other books. And so oftentimes the trade will need to lean in my favor a little bit, but it works out great for all parties involved. So say, for example, I want to trade a $10,000 book. Well, a $10,000 book sometimes is a little bit harder to move, right? It's like a little bit less liquid. Not a whole lot of people have $10,000 lying around that they're just waiting, to buy that big book. However, if I could trade that $10,000 book for like $12,000 worth of smaller books, those smaller books are a lot easier to move. I have a bigger clientele base for those $200, $300, $400 keys. If you trade, $12,000 worth of books for a $10,000 grail, it works out great for all parties because that party that's trading the $12,000 books, they just got rid of 10 or 20 books without having to do hardly any work at all, right? And there is definitely value in that. If you factor in how long it would take to get that $12,000 in value, not to mention that you're going to pay eBay fees or processing fees or whatever platform you're using to move 10 or 20 slabs, plus all the time involved. I mean, sometimes you're talking about like many, many months of moving $12,000 worth of books on eBay and shipping all of them and the fees. You'd be lucky to get that $10,000 out. So, it really works out as a win-win-win for all parties involved. It's easier for me to move the smaller books than the big books. That person actually really wants that big book that they're never going to actually spend $10,000 on. So it's been a really rewarding, fun process for me over on Instagram. Another thing that's cool about it is, it's fun for me. Okay. Like I absolutely love comic books. I love all of these key issues. So it doesn't feel like work to entertain these offers and to get a whole new batch of books in, and I get to like actually see, Giant Size X-Men #1 and all these other books. It scratches the itch a little bit to get these big key issues, just getting to see them and have them for a few days. So let's get into the details of this actual trade. So this one is a little bit different because this was for a friend of mine, Brandon. He's bcavins4 over on Instagram and on Whatnot. Go give him a follow. He still has some of these books that we traded for, so if you're interested in trading for them, reach out to him directly. But he had the X-Men 1 4.0, and he reached out to me. He was like, "Hey, do you want to buy this?" And I was like, "I don't really have the money right now to pay you what that's worth, but what if we put it up on my Instagram page for trade and do like partial cash, partial trade?" Because he just needed some cash to get through, and he's sells on the side as well, so he can always use other books. So we put it up on my page, and we got plenty of offers, and this is the one that we went with. It was $4,500 cash plus some books, and that's why it worked out perfectly. Is he got the cash he needed, and then we got these awesome books as well. So it was Giant Size X-Men #1 in a 7.5, Hulk 181 in a 4.5, Hulk 180 in a 9.2, and this was the one that we were most excited about because it's not, I mean, you see Giant Size X-Men #1 and Hulk 181 in that 7.5 and below range all the time. I mean, there are thousands and thousands and thousands of copies of those two books in 7.5 and below. But Hulk 180 in the 9.2, that's not something you see every single day. So we were excited about that and thought, man, what if it's a bump opportunity? What if we get that 9.2 and it's like a CPR candidate, we can get it up to a 9.4 or 9.6? I mean, that's a huge price difference for 9.2, 9.4, 9.6 for that book. And we got it in, and it potentially could get a grade bump to a 9.4, but not because of an improvable defect. It was one of those books where, like, if you submitted it 3 times, you'd probably get a 9.0, 9.2, 9.4, 9.2, 9.4. I mean, it's one of those books that was just borderline. And so likely, if you resubmitted it a bunch of times, you'd get a bunch of different grades. But that's not really worth the risk. Usually, I only do crack press resubmit if there is an identifiable defect that's on the grader's notes that can be improved. And in this case, it was just one of those things where it was a borderline grade, so we decided just to keep it at the 9.2. And then also a Hulk 182 and an 8.5, not a huge book, couple $100, and Werewolf by Night 32 and a 5.0. And that one worked out really well because I had a friend locally that was just dying to get a Werewolf by Night 32 in trade, and so we worked it out. I worked it out with Brandon, where my commission on this whole trade deal was part of the value of that Werewolf by Night 32, and then I traded that to my buddy. And so as you can see, I mean, it gets convoluted pretty quickly, but you keep track of everything and document everything. There's a lot of opportunity in these trades. So when we got all these books in, we thought, let's run it back. Let's post the Hulk 181 and the Giant Size X-Men 1 and the 180 for trade on my Instagram and see if we get any hits on that. So it got a little bit sticky because, it wasn't for my books. When I'm trading for the shop, I just look at value, right? And liquidity. Like if it's books that are, desirable keys, I'm not really too picky about which keys they are. They just need to be, keys that people are actually after, and the value needs to be there. But since these were, Brandon was involved, he sells on the side, but he's not like this big dealer moving bulk. And so he was a little bit pickier about what he was going to accept as a trade. So after a few days of not getting any offers we really want, we took those down. I shipped those books back to Brandon, so he has them now. So if you're interested in those, go hit him up and check out his page. But I have done this multiple times where I just kick that can down the road, where I'll put up a big book for trade, get like 10 books in, and then 3 of those books are larger books, like $2,000 or $3,000 books, and trade those for more books, and then kick that can down the road. So at the end of the day, I may have done like 3 or 4 trades, all starting from one book, and with each trade, if there's a little bit of an incentive to do that, if I'm trading up every single time, it works out well for all parties involved. The most rewarding part is getting grails into the hands of people that otherwise wouldn't have the opportunity to get them. And X-Men 1 4.0, a Fantastic Four #1, Tales of Suspense 39. These are all books that I have traded and gotten into the hands of other people that they otherwise would not have been able to fork out the cash to get that. And so that in and of itself is super rewarding, right? And then the second part of it that's super rewarding is getting to see all these books come in. I mean, we're talking about like all of the major grails, Fantastic Four 48, Fantastic Four 49, Giant Size X-Men 1, Hulk 180, all of these books that are, keys that I would absolutely love to own, and I get to see them and have them in the shop for a few days, and it scratches the itch a little bit. And then I get to really think like, okay, do I really want to collect that, right? Like I've seen it, I've had it, I've held it, I've felt what it feels like to own it for a few days, and it's kind of messing with my head a little bit because it's really making me evaluate just exactly what I want to collect. Another point to bring up is, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. There's a lot for every trade that goes through. There's like 5 or 6 that don't go through, and let's just remember to be respectful. It is not personal at all. If you send me a list of books and I say I can give you 10,000 in trade for those, and you think it's worth more like 13 or 14,000, we're just coming from different perspectives and different places. You may be looking at a website that's giving you a fair market value, and I'm looking at it from a point of view for what I know I can sell those books, having been in the market for all these years and selling books every single day and looking at sold prices. The fair market value might be 13,000, but I know they'll actually sell at the end of the day for 10,000. So it's nothing personal. It's just 2 different perspectives and ways to look at it. I hope to see you this Friday over on my Instagram page, Friday, July 8th at 3 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Eastern time for a live sale with Steven from Minor Keys Comics. It's going to be an absolute blast. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel, comment on this video, and like this video for your chance to win a free slab. Head over to brycecomics.com and sign up for the newsletter for a chance to win a free slab every single month over there. Follow me on Whatnot for giveaways every single show and a lot of awesome stuff happening over on Whatnot. And of course, follow me on Instagram, hit that notification bell for trades and fresh content and more giveaways and stuff like that over there. Thank you so much once again for sticking with me all the way to the end, and we'll catch you in the next video. Bye.
Bryce Comics.